Hello and good afternoon. Cybersecurity is one of the focus topics of this day, and I don't know anyone more apt to talk about this than the two guys you are going to encounter now. ALSO's very own Artyom Skrumins and Reuven from cybersecurity, a company that offers what I would call cyber attack as a service. Artyom's, Reuven, we can't wait for you to separate the myth from the reality and the guesswork from the facts. The screen is yours.
Hello, CTV. Nice to see you here at our event. It's been a great pleasure to speak to such a great audience. Nevertheless, we're doing it digitally. It's not often when you present a completely new service at the CTV, and today I'm proud to do it together with Ruby. So let's add some hype. Today, on 19th of May, at ALSO Channel Trends and Vision, let me introduce you Reuven Aranashvili from cybersecurity. So I believe the audience is hyped, so Ruby, stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Artyom. So hi everyone, really pleasure to meet you. I'm humbled to really take you through a new solution that we've developed together with our partners from ALSO team. Very quickly about cybersecurity. CYE was founded in 2012. I was the founder and I serve today as the CEO of the company. My personal background comes from the Israeli army. I was the founder and the head of the Israeli Red Team for 7 years. And then in 2012, I left and founded CYE. CYE is an assembly of cybersecurity experts coming from government experience, providing very wide range of solutions that until now was perceived to be very enterprise oriented. What I'm going to show you today is how we took those capabilities and reserved and preserved the quality level of what we are doing, provided a specific capability that is relevant to the SME market, and of course made it in very affordable price tag. And that's something that we are very proud to demonstrate and show you today. In general, when we talk about SMEs, that is really a business that from our point of view was really out of reach for a very, very long time. The reason for that is that the solutions, the capabilities that we've developed were very, let's say, tailored to more organizational, enterprise level solutions based on the capability, the comprehensiveness, and of course the price level or price tag that was associated with those specific solutions. However, when it comes to small, medium businesses, of course, as you can imagine, the risk level of those enterprises is not really different than what you see in the larger organizations. Actually, with latest researchers, we see that the number of attacks, the number of data breaches that are associated with these specific small, medium businesses today is increasing quite dramatically. Taking this into consideration, we went back into our research labs and actually tried to create a solution that will be able to support the SME effort from visibility stage, in which we are actually evaluating and identifying the vulnerabilities, through risk quantification process, in which we are actually trying to evaluate what is the risk and how we are going to prioritize also the mitigation and not only the visibility into the risk themselves. At the later stage, being able to do that on a continuous basis, that means to take an organization through a process of continuous improvement. That was really our target. And I'm happy to say that we were able really to do that together with the support of the ALSO team to actually make a specific solution that will be relevant to this SME business. So let me explain what we were able to do. So we are introducing today Hiver Lite, which is a subset of the Hiver capability that is today the offering that we have for enterprise level organizations. We took the continuous aspect of penetration testing, scanning, and specific evaluation of the specific entities or assets of an SME organization, and actually integrated it into a platform that is able to provide first the evaluation and identification of the vulnerabilities as those are exposed to the specific attackers. So we take the attack surface, evaluate it, identify the specific vulnerabilities, quantify the risk that is coming from those vulnerabilities, and then prioritize the mitigation and the mitigation actions that needs to be taken into consideration for the organization. So that actually creates an end-to-end solution when it comes to cybersecurity improvement, something that wasn't considered to be affordable for an SME business before, and now is really right out there with those specific capabilities that we are going to present. So our solution will be continuous in the same quality level that we provide to other organizations, and more than everything will be affordable for those specific SMEs. So just to talk about that, we took a specific interface that actually is going to be a single pane of glass to provide all the relevant items from asset discovery, through vulnerability analysis, through risk evaluation and mitigation solutions that we are going to provide there. All of them will be exposed in a single interface with clear evaluation of the risk, clear evaluation of the cybersecurity threats that we've identified, and the optimization to the mitigation plan. The point is that we are taking different types of data items, different parts of data streams into the specific system, and based on that, we not only provide the organization with a view into the risk, but also we provide a quantification that is highly important for how information should be taken into consideration, how mitigation items should be taken into the relevant order, what the investment from cybersecurity standpoint should be, and how the organization is actually going through a maturity process that improves with time with this specific solution that will be continuous, as I mentioned. So to take you through the details, we actually developed 3 specific offering items that will be evolved in the future also to additional offerings. The first one is the attack surface tracker. The attack surface tracker, this is an outside-in view for the organization, a tool that is able to identify the organizational assets, classify them into the relevant asset clusters from IP addresses point of view, domain names, databases, identities that were leaked, and so on and so forth. Based on all of the collected data, the organizational risk will be evaluated, then will be prioritized, and based on this priority, we will provide the organization with the specific optimized mitigation plan that will be then executed to actual cybersecurity improvement. Then the Azure Security Tracker, this is a second tool that we are going to provide. This is going to be associated with the Azure tenant that is consumed by the organization. This is a very powerful tool that really evaluates the cybersecurity risk of the Azure tenant from identity level, encryption level, data protection, network level security, application level security, and so on. All of those data items, again, are integrated to the same interface, and with this specific interface, the risk will be available, and as I mentioned before, the mitigation prioritization. The last item that is maybe the most comprehensive one will take all the internet perimeter into consideration, evaluate the internet perimeter in both passive and active assessment techniques, and will cross-reference the data sources that we are collecting from asset perspective, threat intelligence perspective, and specific vulnerability evaluation in order to provide first the visibility into the organizational risk profile, second the risk quantification, and third the optimized mitigation planning. All of those items will be consumed in a subscription mode on a yearly basis, month by month, to provide the relevant reports to the stakeholders and to the decision makers in the organization in order to make easy decisions when it comes to cybersecurity, getting very clear visibility into the investment level that the organization requires, and of course, above all, getting very clear visibility into the organizational risk and the potential threat landscape that is relevant to the organization. Just maybe to show you how that looks like, right? So this is the Hiver interface. So here you can see the engagement initiation interface in which you can choose specifically what engagement you want to start. This engagement will be then assigned to a specific end customer with the relevant assets or scope that is going to be then integrated into the test. And you can see, for example, that the frequency that is set in this specific test will be on a monthly basis. The results will be, as you see here, right? Each and every one of the vulnerabilities that is identified is not only going to be quantified from probability point of view. That means what is the probability for this attack or for this specific vulnerability to happen or to be exploited by a specific threat actor. Also, we will add the CVSS analysis. That means the severity level per vulnerability that was identified. And more than that, the recommendation of prioritization, which item should be mitigated first, second, third, and so on and so forth. And this specific recommendation order is something that is based on a mathematical model that proves that this is really the best solution for the organization at any given moment when you take into consideration the threat landscape, the risk of the organization, the business critical assets, and of course the opportunity of the attacker to be able to attack those specific business critical assets. Per item that you see here, you get the full description from summary perspective, description, business impact, how to mitigate, how to detect in your security operations center, and so on and so forth. Above all, the Hiver platform provides also a dashboard in which the vulnerabilities can be managed. This is the vulnerability management platform, the security domain maturity evaluation that you see here, the asset discovery platform that works continuously around the clock to identify those assets that are relevant to the organization, and of course the prioritized items for mitigation. Everything that we do is also compliant with different frameworks like MITRE attack frameworks, NIST framework, ISO framework, OWASP frameworks, and others that are integrated into the platform out of the box. I'm more than happy to answer, of course, more questions and to take you through the solution to explain more in depth what we are able to provide here, what are the specific features, and how the engagement model works. From our point of view, we'll be happy to see you in the side booth of the CTV, and thank you very much for the opportunity to present to you. We're really looking forward to see how we are able to take this specific solution and really distribute it for all the relevant SMEs that we have as potential customers. Thank you very much. Artyom, back to you.
Great. Thank you, Ruby. So let me quickly share my slides. Hopefully you should already see them or not. Probably will be here in a moment. While we are switching slides, I can tell that for us at ALSO, it was always critical to make our resellers feel protected and to give them an opportunity to provide best-in-class services to help them achieve cybersecurity at their end customers. And with Hiver Lite, we truly believe that with implementation of security assessment, it will give an opportunity for our partners to assist end customers in a weighted decision-making when choosing which cybersecurity solution to buy, especially nowadays when every company demands a well-calculated return on investment. We also believe that with cybersecurity assessment tools, we are able to assist partners in upselling their existing cybersecurity portfolio and services, because we are having a possibility to showcase and mention particular assets and particular gaps which need to be solved and filled before moving forward. And of course, with the Azure security offering, we are giving partners the opportunity to give control and understand what is happening in Azure in real life and how it may affect companies' secure assets. So today, in all our countries, from the northern point of Norway to the southern port of Spain, the service is available, so you can go to your local country office or ping me or Ruby directly today at CTV and request a demonstration or request your own license. But that's not it. We have also prepared a raffle. So all CTV participant partner resellers have an opportunity to receive 1 out of 20 1 year free of charge Hyperlight platform, absolutely for free. We will announce the winners next week, and all the companies will be chosen randomly. But that's not it. We have one more thing. Today until after our presentation, visit cybersecurity booth, give your business card and get a 30-minute no-cost strategy session with cybersecurity expert. It's pretty easy. Visit showroom, leave contacts, and we'll contact you after the event. So feel free to ask also cybersecurity team or to ask site directly for additional information where to provide you pricing. And don't forget that nevertheless, we announced today SME offering. We also have an enterprise offering, which is at the larger scale and providing more benefits. But let's talk about this separately. Enjoy your stay at CTV, and we are ready for your questions.
Thank you, guys. That was a very vivid and very insightful presentation, and I'm really very impressed with the systematic approach and with this holistic approach that you have to assess cybersecurity. And we have heard in many presentations today that it's a really crucial topic. So we don't have much time, but we have time for one question, and this is an interesting one. It goes to Ruby, and the question is that the person said, I guess you are sworn to secrecy by your customers, but without naming names, could you share with us what the most challenging or interesting case was that you ever had?
Well, we had a lot of cases, but I can share something that we had lately. In the end of the year, as you probably all know, there was a very difficult situation that came in the US with something that got the name like the SolarWinds attack. The concept there was a supply chain based attack on one of the platforms or one platform of SolarWinds that was compromised, and then through this platform, the attackers were able to get access into different organizations. One of the organizations that we work with is really an IT as a service organization. So what we've seen there is like a supply chain attack that led to another supply chain attack that then led to organizations. So the structure was SolarWinds compromised, then another organization that is compromised, and then admin access to around of 60 customers at the same time with with the domain admin access to the organization. Now, in order to solve the situation, right, as some, I would say, very complicated incident, it was a very interesting situation in which we played a deception game there, in which the attacker thought that we were able actually to compromise the attacker back, right, by actually introducing some data that looks like compromised data. Then the attacker actually pulled back and actually reduced the pressure on those specific organizations. And that way we were able to quickly, let's say, in a way, save around 80% of those companies from an actual compromise. But that, of course, was to very limited time until the attacker decided or understood that we were playing a game there. But my point in this specific example is that, you know, one thing that we say about Israel and about our approach in general is that we use always, let's call it a game theory or concept of deception as part of our offensive or defensive concept or techniques and tactics that we are using. So in this specific example, a very small deception concept was used in order really to save a lot of organizations and save quite a lot of money also when it comes to incident specific item. We have a lot of other crazy stories around the airplanes that we were able to attack, trains, submarines and others, but we'll leave it maybe to a different session in which we can discuss war stories, if that's by any chance interesting.
Thank you very much for sharing that, a very recent and interesting insight. And with that, I leave you to it because I think there will be people queuing up at your booth to participate in the raffle and get into discussions with you. And just one remark, because I have to say it, the background of Ruben is real. That's what he sees when he looks out the window. Enviable. So have a good afternoon, and I'm sure we will talk again soon in another context, and thanks for sharing. Bye bye.